Blah, blah.
Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 2, Episode 27, where we watch Bromans, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz. Sitting to my left is...
Robert Kitts.
Sitting to his left.
Ego sum maximus.
Sitting to his left.
James.
Sitting to his left.
Harrison Hoffman.
And a special guest tonight, sitting to his left.
Annabeth.
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
This show is quite ridiculous.
It's an interesting show to walk in on, I feel like. This is an interesting show in general.
Harrison, give us the description here.
Okay. Roman Kemp narrates this brand new reality series which throws a group of 8 modern-day lads back in time to see if they can cope with living and fighting like Roman gladiators. Bromans on ITV.
Okay, before we dive in on that, read the first 3 words of that.
Hold on. Let me pull it up again. Roman Kemp narrates.
They even got a guy named Roman to narrate Bromans.
He changed his name for the show, actually.
It's so good.
So, as soon as the show fired up, I actually recognized who that dude was. He's apparently a famous British comedian, and he was in the movie that got made out of the last season of Project Greenlight, which is kind of just super random. I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, I'm guessing since they said his name in the description, he somewhat known.
It wouldn't be a selling.
Yeah.
It's got to be a selling point.
But for the people outside, this is a British show that's not available to get anywhere. You have to have an ITV access somehow. And we obtained the show somehow.
We got the hookup.
We got hookups.
From our British friends of the pod.
So many of you guys out there. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
British reality shows are insane.
This show is
As
insane.
always. Yeah. I'm pretty sure every British show we've watched has been absolutely nuts. Just to the nth degree. This one
wait
is
till
up
we
there.
watch 4 in a Bed.
I can't wait. Is that a British show?
Yeah.
I'm much more interested now that you've told me it's a British show.
I talked about it when the British shows that I watched. It was definitely British.
Okay.
Can our hookup that got us Bromans get us 4 in a bed?
I think so.
Most
All right.
likely, let me check it out. Pip, pop, cheerio, and all of that.
What was your name again, Max? I've already forgotten.
Maximus.
Man, I don't even know where to start unpacking this show. Can
So the
somebody break it down? Anybody?
The intro to the show is just amazing. They have eight couples, and they give these candid interviews, and they're just dumb as nails, and they say the dumbest things.
I don't know where they found these people.
I really don't. They're so dumb that I believe that they're real,
Are they,
but it's so tough for me. They're such characters. It's great.
So, oh my God. This is Roman Tool Academy.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Max,
you took the words out of my mouth. So, although
It's
when we
really
heard
British
the
Tool
description,
Academy.
I thought it was Roman Tool Academy, and I thought the guys were going to be idiots, and the women were going to be a little more trying to sort of pull them up. But the women are just as dumb. Everyone on this show is an idiot.
I really
Oh
want to
my
know,
God.
do you think these people knew what the show was, or they just applied to whatever ITV site, and they're just hey, get on a plane, you're on this show, but we're not. You'll find out when you get there.
I'm not convinced they knew
I'm
they were
going to
going to be
the
on a
ITV
TV
site.
show.
They seemed very surprised at how everything was going as soon as they got there.
I don't know if I sign up for. I want to be a reality TV show or whatever, and you click that I'd be interested in a Roman show, and they're yeah, we're doing this Roman show. You're called up. I'm I don't know what I'd expect.
What questions do you ask in that situation?
I don't know if you get any questions. It's are you in or out?
Right. So let's play that out. So you apply to this show, and you're okay,
Well, I
it's a
applied
Roman
to
show.
shows, right? And
Right.
I click the boxes.
Right.
And you get an email, and they're hey Chris, congratulations, we think you'd be really good on this Roman show. We've got flights booked for this date. Can you make it? What do you do?
I wouldn't apply. So There's
the only
that.
thing you
And if-
know is that it's a Roman show.
Right. It's just like, hey, you like, and you know that you've applied to like some kind of Roman show. It's like categories.
I don't
of
even know if
stuff.
they give me a description. I know what I'm really walking
Right.
into.
Even if you had a description.
That set also, as these guys come in, there's this crazy set that they've built. Like, I don't know if they've rented it from somebody, but it looks like they've spent a lot of money on it.
It's amazing because they keep on saying, "Oh man, we're in ancient Rome. We got to check out all this Roman stuff." But then, like, they kind of have these moments where they're kind of winking towards, it not actually being Rome.
The comedian definitely lays into this hair dryer,
ancient
and
Roman hair
this
dryer.
hairspray, like.
I just love the seriousness with which he approaches the show. Like, it's really good.
But like comedic seriousness.
He's all in on the character.
Another really good thing is like when they walk in, there's so many extras that get to be on this show, like populating the town, and then like that old woman who was laughing when they were competing. Like, how do we get to be those people?
That
That'd be
would
a
be
really
great.
good part.
That'd be entertaining.
They like bro fisted in the beginning as they came in
Yeah.
too, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't
like
think as
how-
an extra you're supposed to be doing that.
Oh yeah.
They definitely spent some money. Like, they spent too much money on this production.
I feel like that must be something pre-existing from some other TV show, and they just don't want to wreck it.
It must be. It must be.
It
like
has to
they
be.
shot some movie there or some show there.
But I mean, there is quite a bit of extras, so there's still some money spent. on it.
Maybe it was that HBO show Rome.
Definitely, I think they got
Like, let's
ITV.
keep going with this.
Maybe. I know nothing about that show.
It only ended like 15 years ago. It's great.
Hey, that set's looking great for being 15 years old.
I love how they keep referring to the set as like, you got to go check out the city. It's a great ancient Roman city, and like referring to it like it's a real place, and it's just it's a fake town with a bunch of extras.
It's like, hey,
Everyone's
they're
like, gotta check it out.
they're walking around getting a taste
then
of Rome.
They go to the club. It's
Club
just still,
Coliseum.
like, just a thing in the on the set, and you're
It's
like,
amazing.
I was so happy that there was a club night, and like we've learned from other reality shows that club night's always a shit show. Didn't quite turn into as big of a shit show, but I was pretty excited that they had a club night.
Everyone in the show's too nice right now.
It's that
Very
they
nice.
definitely. I mean, at the end of this, there's a vote, and we can get to that later. But I think that that the animosity will get turned up a little bit
Oh,
now
yeah,
that
yeah,
there's some of that stuff going on.
Right. Like, all these people who don't know each other don't know enough about each other to hate people yet, I think.
We'll find out. Well, we won't find out, but there's
We'll never know.
they do. I mean, the filming's only going to be like a week or two, or like 2 weeks.
It's got to be
so-
quick. It's
so,
got to be
like,
quick.
How well are you going to get to know these people to vote them out? Like, well, we'll get
Will
into
it
that.
become the dirtiest
So-
game of all time?
The dirtiest season ever.
They did get pretty dirty in the opening of this show, though.
Should we talk about the first challenge?
I think we
when
should.
when they all show up.
Well, yeah, that's fine. So,
I guess we can talk about it. So they all show up, and all of the Bromans funnel into the Coliseum, and the comedian dude, the host, is like, okay, you're all going to start as slaves. Slaves don't have any clothes. Just take all your clothes off right now. And the guys are like, what kind of show are we on right now? Like, they're
They're, like,
so
looking
confused
around.
about what kind of show they just signed up for. And it's on British TV, so there is no blurring of anything, too. So these dudes are just standing there holding their junk, like on national television right there.
Mm-hmm.
there was quite a big celebration at some point where he raised his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no blurring on British television.
There certainly isn't.
Well, I'm sure at
Good
certain
for them.
times of the day there is.
Yeah. And so, have we explained like the girls on the show, or like the girlfriends of the guys?
No, tee it up.
So like the other half of this, so like the dudes start the show out, and then they cut to a shot of all the women on the show. And at this point, they kind of teed up as like, hey, these are all the girlfriends of the guys. They're going to be kind of cheering and helping out and like be involved in the competition in some way. But it seems like it's still like clearly a gladiator competition focused on the guys, but the girls have some kind of role in it. Anyways, it's interesting.
I mean, it was one challenge for the girls, one challenge for the guys.
Right. And so basically
Well,
the
even
girls
the
get intro
guys'
into like,
challenge had the girls in it.
right.
The girls have a pretty significant part.
Right.
It's weird that the guys are like the competitors when
It's
the
like-
women are doing as much.
Definitely. So that part I don't know what goes on there. But yeah.
The women actually did more competing in this episode than the guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of the guys, it would just pull that cart.
Exactly. So what was the first challenge there that the women did?
So the first challenge was for the women to earn their guys' clothes. So basically, they bring all the women in, they make a bunch of jokes about the dudes standing there naked. The dudes flash all the girls in a wave.
They do the wave.
They do the wave. Oh man, worst wave ever.
Then shot of the creepy old lady extra, just staring.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Creepy old lady was loving it.
So good.
Do you think that she was there, or do you think that's just a pickup shot?
I think it's a picture.
Come on.
That's
So-
just a stock photo shot.
Yeah. So
Some creepy old lady.
there's 8 couples, and they basically have like 6 sections kind of roped off with kind of ropes in the sand of the Coliseum that they're standing in. They're just like, in each of these sections there's one package of clothing. So like girls, like one at a time, you're going to start with the section closest to you, dig for the package, grab the clothes, and run it back to basically the starting line. And then you earn clothes for your guy. And there were going to be 2 guys at the end who weren't going to get any clothes.
It was entertaining to watch. Like, I think
Surprisingly.
there was once they realized, like, after the first 2 just like ran away, like there's a lot more like, oh, gotta play more defensive here.
Yeah.
And like if somebody gets it, you gotta really take them down because there's 2 people that are gonna lose.
There's definitely no contesting like the run back of the clothes on the first couple, and then it's just all
And-
hell broke loose.
Then there was hair pulling, people like
A lot of
body,
weird slow motion.
a lot of slow mo, a lot of body slamming. Forgot about the slow mo for a second. There was definitely a very unflattering slow mo for one girl in there. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, they definitely didn't do a great job there.
They definitely spent a lot of money on the like cameramen. I think on this show,
Oh,
like they're
yeah.
not slouches.
They just spent a bunch of money in general. Like, I'm shocked at how much money they spent on the production of this show. It's kind of crazy.
It's great. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
makes
amazing.
the show.
Well, there's also
Chris-
that
Chris,
voiceover.
Oh yeah, the narrator.
Yeah, we should talk
Isn't-
about the
Oh.
voiceover.
Isn't that
'cause
the
that's pretty off
comedian?
the rails. Yeah,
Okay.
Is the comedian the narrator or
Yes.
I think it is.
or the person in the show?
I believe it's 2 different people.
Okay.
And the comedian is the narrator, maybe?
That's what I thought it was.
The description made it sound like the comedian was the narrator, and that the guy being the sort of host Roman guy is someone else.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
The Dominus.
Crazy. So the challenge happens. A bunch of girls tackle other girls, and
There's a
yeah.
bleeding shoulder at one point.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of, because the participants are not wearing very many clothes throughout the entire show. There's a lot of cuts and scrapes and very minor injuries like throughout the show.
There's
So
a dramatic hair pulling incident.
when the
That
people
looks terrible.
lost, they didn't actually not wear anything. They just like ended up getting a thong instead of standing there naked walking around.
I mean, the stakes for the first challenge seem to be incredibly low.
And the fact that it meant nothing. Like it's not
Yeah.
like the order was like determined for the next challenge or anything.
Although they did say at the end when they were figuring out what 2 people were going to be in the vote that they took into account the performance in the first challenge. I don't we got to get to that. We got to get to that part though.
Yeah, so after this, they go back to their like giant dorm room where all of the couples sleep, and then
Get ready for club night.
Then they get ready for club night.
Club night.
And then a lot of people are really excited and surprised, it seems, that there's free alcohol at this thing.
Yeah, this one dude's like, "This is great. I don't even have to pay for all this alcohol here." And you're like, "Yeah, they're shoving it down your throat so you look like an idiot on television." What do you mean?
Right.
Something
Not
that was
surprised.
interesting was they made a big deal during the challenge of gladiators were slaves and you have to be slaves and all this stuff. And then the second that challenge is done, it's like, here's your awesome place to stay. Here's the pool. Here's some clothes. Here's some alcohol. Like,
Go hit the club.
go hit the club. I was like, I guess they're not slaves anymore. Like that.
Yeah, they said they start out as slaves. And they earn their clothes. They're
Very
not slaves
quickly.
anymore.
Oh, so all you need is clothes and you're not slaves anymore. Is that how that
Apparently.
works?
That's how the house elves
I
work.
have to read up on my Roman history.
Yeah, for some reason, it's basically like their girlfriends have got them out of being slaves. Like they found some clothes and like you're not a slave anymore.
Even the two people that lost.
The first competition wasn't even like a gladiator competition. Like
Nope.
you're like, okay, if you had to fight or something, it'd be like, okay, now there's something you've earned. Like now you're gladiator status, right?
Maybe it's like a Harry
Didn't
Potter
happen.
situation where if somebody gives you clothes, then you're not a slave anymore. What do you think about that?
Oh, maybe.
Nothing there on the Harry Potter reference.
Some sort of house elf.
Some
type
sort of house elf situation.
Interesting.
It was too deep. We couldn't even. handle it.
Apparently.
You said Harry Potter, and I just tuned out. I'll be honest.
It's hard to meld those worlds. Ancient Rome.
So we'll get to this, but is Harry Potter the Emperor?
Oh, very possible.
It's possible. So at this club night, it seemed pretty tame. Like, I mean, they got real drunk.
Did
I'm-
they?
I'm like, I feel like I'm coming in hot off watching a bunch of challenge club
Oh,
nights, and it's
yeah.
not the same situation at all.
Everyone seems really nice and like not really promiscuous. So it's like there was just any drama at all.
They're also just all there as couples too, so it's not like there's a lot of
Yeah.
just hooking up with random people situation either.
I think this whole thing would have been way more exciting if none of them were couples.
Yeah, it gets
And
some
like the girls had to
politicking.
choose like which guy do you want to give clothes to, help them out, and then it's like a whole thing.
That would have been the best way to pick partners.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's a great idea.
But I mean, there is this aspect of them being couples. Will they cheer each other on? That I think that feels more genuine than if there was just like two people that don't know each other and they're like, should we get to know each other or not? In this like 7-day thing, like.
Well, the
I
stakes,
don't
as
know.
we discussed, were pretty low in the first thing, right? So it's just like basically two guys are naked at the end of it. So it's like, not that big of hard feelings, right?
I just realized if they were picking their partners at the first challenge,
Right.
I know where
this
Rob's
is naked
going.
attraction all over again.
100%.
Oh no!
That'd be pretty rough for the two guys that didn't get gifted
Well,
clothes.
Here's the thing. Let's say you have like 3 possible choices of person to put clothes on. Do you throw them on the grossest dude or the sexiest dude? Because maybe you want to check out that sexy dude, right? Just saying, it's game theory.
But if that guy becomes your partner for the rest of the show,
Then he's not
then you
wearing
played
clothes.
the game wrong.
So second challenge.
And then they have to wait. They woke up hungover.
Yeah, of
and
course.
that's second challenge.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the second challenge. Anyone a fan of it?
No.
No.
It was
Didn't
bad.
Not
seem very-
great.
I think we
Bad.
should gloss over it. There was a cart.
well, we got to talk about the
Some rocks
intro
in
of
it.
the other character.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That
because
part's
his
where-
intro was pretty good.
Tell us about it, Rob.
Let's
What's
hear
his
it.
name again?
Doctore.
Doctore. So Doctore is basically like the gladiator trainer, and he just rolls in, and they've got the slow mo going again, and the dramatic shots, and everyone's like freaked out when he shows up. That is like, and they make a point that he makes all the guys come and stand in front of him, and the narrator's all like, "What do the women think of this?" Women are just like, "Man, that new guy's so hot."
He's delicious.
That was a quote.
Every
Straight
character
quote.
is mic'd up the whole time. It's great.
Oh yeah.
All you got on is a thong? Here's a mic.
They're wearing those naked and afraid mics, those little necklace mics there.
Yeah. So would you call this guy a large gentleman?
I would refer to him as a rather large gentleman.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing though, there was at least one of the Bromans that was at least as big as Doctore. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that one dude with the giant traps, like that guy's at least as big as him.
Yeah, but he wasn't wearing the armor that made him look bigger.
I guess that's fair.
The armor definitely helped Doctore's look out a little.
Oh yeah.
I thought when Doctore came out, one of them they were all gonna have to fight him.
Yeah.
I thought that
Team
was gonna
ba-
be the
It's
challenge.
proven
That would be
ground.
great.
Maybe that's the last challenge.
I can't believe this whole show there was no like physical altercation.
Yeah, not
was-
at all.
There's this-
disappointing.
There was 2 challenges. One was the girls digging clothes out of the ground. The other was them, moving some rocks on a like horse and buggy.
We didn't go over
James.
that yet.
Tee us up this second challenge.
That's really all we need to know about it.
James
The girls
does
had to
not
put
wanna
some
talk
rocks in
about
a
it.
bucket. They had to put like 3 of these buckets in the back of what are those things called? It's like a carriage like type thing. It's like a
Chariot.
Chariot, that's it. So they had to do a chariot. There's no horses. The dudes have to pull the chariots like to and fro like a couple of times. That's the whole challenge. They do this about 10 times. It's super boring to watch.
Yeah.
Just fast forward through it.
The producers really screwed up on this one.
Yeah.
There's
And that's the challenge.
There's
And you have no context of how anybody does because they don't show the times or anything. So at the end, they basically rank out the bottom two people, and they're like, "You were the slowest, and you suck. We're gonna go deliberate in the Emperor's chambers or something."
the presentation was such that it was impossible to tell if anyone was doing better or worse than anyone else as you were watching this whole segment. So like there was no timer, they weren't doing it at the same time. Like there's no way to tell how people were doing really.
And that's all the 2 challenges that were on the show.
The
it.
one thing I did enjoy is when they hit a wall, they hit caught a snag, and these people just dumped. They just fell.
They put this pole like right in the path that multiple people just wrecked themselves on.
Oh yeah. And you're not wearing anything, so if you fall, it's just rocky ground. You're definitely getting
There was
cut
a
up.
lot of bloody shoulders and bloody knees.
Oh, yeah.
Guys in this challenge.
You got to bleed to be a true gladiator.
I'm sure the true gladiators bled quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So after the challenge, the loser of the challenge is up for elimination.
Should we talk about the dude who's the loser of the challenge for a second?
Sure.
He gets there and one of the first things he says is, "Man, I don't know how the Romans got their hair to look like that. They didn't even have hairspray back then. I don't know what they did." And then after he sucks ass at this challenge, he's basically like, "Man, if this is a modeling challenge, I would have crushed it, dudes."
Oh my god.
What do you mean?
Oh.
So bad. He's just terrible.
I didn't catch either of those, so thank you for catching me up.
Really? You gotta pay better more attention.
Maybe.
It's the accents also. There are parts of the show that are just incomprehensible.
Right. I would say 7 of the 8 couples completely okay. And then there's one crew that I just have no idea what they're saying.
I'm fucked off right now, you know?
I still don't know what the hell that means.
But we heard that one loud and clear. We knew exactly what you said.
Yeah, I knew what you said. So I mean, there's different levels.
That other couple, you just maybe they said that too. We don't know.
I have no idea. You just look at each other. I'm like, anybody got anything? Nope.
Context clues.
Okay, nothing.
we should probably turn the subtitles on or something.
Yeah, that would have been real. I don't even know.
People
It
are
still would've been
speaking
crazy.
English and they needed to be subtitled.
I don't know, James. You weren't happy with the subtitles on Terrace House. I don't know how you'd
Ooh,
feel
yeah,
if
you know.
the subtitles popped up here.
It's fair. It's a fair point. I don't know.
It
We'll
was
never know.
it was definitely great to hear all the different regional British accents. There were a lot of different British accents coming in. It was great.
So after they do this, they have this scene with Doctore and the host guy. I don't know what his name is.
Dominus.
Dominus.
With the emperor, quote unquote emperor, and it's just this Seinfeld bit of this statue over a guy's face.
Oh, yeah. What's that
That's
guy's
so
name?
great.
The neighbor.
Wilson
not
from
neighbor.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. That's what I was thinking of. Just popping over the fence.
Oh,
So clearly they're making it a bit that they don't tell us who the emperor is.
It just means that they
It's just a producer.
didn't want to pay a good actor to be the emperor.
I don't know. I like the bit.
It's kind of
It was
It's
fine.
sketchy.
No, and
Maybe they do pay an actor, but they can only afford him for that final episode.
Oh.
So up
Right.
until then, we get the statue.
when they slide the statue aside and they're just oh shit, it's Russell Crowe.
that's what I think we should do. And the emperor's challenge. I bet they'll reveal who the emperor is.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Unmask the emperor.
Can we take
man.
bets?
Who should it be?
Patrick Stewart.
I think it's no one. I don't think you'll ever see it.
Yeah. I think it's no one.
I think it should be the emperor from Star Wars.
That'd be good.
Oh, man.
So I wanted to bring up the possibility it was Russell Crowe, but my real prediction who it is it's the narrator. Because the narrator is apparently
Oh.
someone kind of famous a little bit.
Could be.
And he's a
Sounds good.
comedian,
It's a
so
good
it's
call.
going to be him.
Oh man, that could be.
He does that all in one day. He comes in, he's the emperor, and then films all of his narration segments.
Yeah, no, totally.
All in one day.
Rob just pool sharked us there. He just snuck it right out. He's just oh yeah, you didn't see that coming, and I'm winning that bet.
How great would it be if it was Tywin from Game of Thrones, though?
Oh, that'd be really good too.
That'd be fitting.
Yeah.
He's making that Tywin money, though.
Yeah, I know. He's Well, Bromans is spending money, and they only need him for 2 hours.
He's not making that Tywin money anymore.
Yo, have you guys seen
Spoilers.
Last Action
Oh.
Hero?
I've
Yeah.
not, but I should.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
He's in there. He's
Oh, is he?
he's the main villain.
I've seen that so long ago, though.
Great movie.
I think we just got a new podcast idea.
So-
Movies Tywin's been in.
So after this, they do this elimination challenge, which is the most bullshit elimination thing I think I've ever seen that we've watched.
I was so excited for the elimination because I'm like, this is gonna be some crazy shit, crazy gladiator shit.
I was wondering how they were gonna fit it in the time, and like, so the elimination is the judges determine who a second person is that didn't lose the last challenge.
I don't think they even had to pick the guy who lost last. I think they can pick whoever
Yeah,
they
yeah,
want.
they could,
yeah.
no, they pick the guy that lost the last challenge.
No, I don't
No.
think they have to.
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
think they can.
that's
they
what
can
he
pick.
said with the challenge. Like they said when they started the challenge, the loser will be in the like.
Right.
No, like he qualified. He was like, you may be possibly eligible
Right.
to potentially go home. It was like something insane like
Yes,
that.
I think they that's something they use to make their decision. So if you lose the challenge, you're considered.
Right.
You're always gonna be in.
I think they said you may be a prospect for banishment.
Right, because in front of
Banishment,
the emperor,
that's
they
the
like
other-
present the case for like many
Right,
different couples,
like-
and then the emperor decides.
But like it feels so like the producers can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They just could.
Yeah,
they
it's
have
terrible.
No, they,
It's the worst part of the show.
I know whoever they want, they feel is good for like the things. If there's like, all right, those are the two they're going, and it doesn't matter.
Well,
why.
we didn't even see the real challenge, so who the hell knows?
exactly.
Insane. It definitely blows up the whole strategy of the game.
There is no strategy.
It's just it disqualifies itself from being reality. It's just produced.
All right, now Chris. So once the producers pick the two people, what happens next?
Then the other people vote on who they want to stay in the house.
no, you missed the part where the two men get to
Oh,
plead their case.
They
Oh,
did great,
man.
great speeches on this
Which
show.
was especially bad because I think like that was asking the men to like really lean into the Roman element of it, which I think the men were not prepared to do.
Yeah.
They're on this Roman show. They should be prepared.
I'm definitely expecting better speeches next time now that they know that they have to give a speech.
I can't believe neither of them like started off with friends, Romans, countrymen.
Oh,
Like, oh my god.
None
what
of
do
them
you-
know that.
no.
Well, yeah, and like there was one bit when that one guy was like introducing himself, and he like listed the only Roman he knew. He was like Julius Caesar.
Caesar?
And his
Caesar?
girlfriend
Caesar?
corrects him.
Yeah, and the one was like the girlfriend was like, Caesar, and he was like, the dressing.
Like
Yeah.
like salad.
He
Caesar
had to
salad?
be joking, right?
I don't know.
Ooh,
Who
I
the
don't
fuck
know.
knows?
It really didn't seem like it.
So
Oh.
So lame speeches, super short, nothing interesting.
So I wish that there was an elimination challenge, but I did like the way that they did the voting, and I feel like others could learn from that. So they basically had the two guys come and stand with their back to the rest of the cast members, and then they turn around one at a time to give their speech, and they have to turn back around with their back to the cast. And then they say, "Okay, go and stand next to the one that you think should stay," and then it's just like.
One by
It's-
one,
it's-
coming down
It's a really
stairs.
good visual of all these people are gonna go into this one dude's side, and then the other dude's just looking super sad about it. It's
It's
good.
very
I
well
like that.
produced that part.
Yeah, I like
agree.
that.
I just don't like how they get put on the chopping block.
No, I agree with that.
I love the challenges way of doing the challenge, like eliminating people.
Yeah,
Like it needs to just be a challenge between two people, and then they get eliminated.
Come on, Chris. You want a fight to the death. That's what you were.
It's
that's what you want.
Gladiator. It's gotta be a fight. Like, come on.
I want
it's the whole
American
show.
gladiators. I want them to have the like little paddle things.
Oh,
those giant Q-tips.
Yeah, the giant Q-tips. They have to push somebody off a platform.
So, would you watch this show? Would you be more or less likely to watch this show if every episode the elimination challenge was a literal fight to the death?
Hunger Games.
Actual death?
Literal fight to the death.
Less. I don't want to support that kind of entertainment.
That seems bad.
It's pretty rough.
If it
Yeah.
was a challenge to, like MMA fight, sure, totally. 100%.
What if it was a modeling challenge?
Oh.
It's a walk-off.
'Cause that one guy is gonna kill it.
More. I would still be more willing to watch a fashion challenge over what they did.
A lip sync battle.
Ooh.
At least
They gotta
Maybe
mix up
not.
the last one every episode, for sure. It can't just be speeches.
I could do it. They could do a more bro-y thing. It could be like beer pong.
They should definitely have some bro elimination, some bro style eliminations.
What's
That'd
like
be
ancient
great.
bros? What were they doing?
they were playing the ancient game of beer upon us.
Yeah, right? Like, that's what they should do.
I think they were dying in gladiator fights.
They're playing discus.
Oh yeah.
They could play froth.
Oh.
Rolf?
You don't know Frolf?
Frolfin.
Frisbee golf.
Oh, I've never heard it called Frolf, but I should have put two and two together.
Maybe that's because you're not a bro.
Maybe.
You don't watch
Discus.
you don't watch Seinfeld?
I do.
They call it Frolf.
Ooh.
Ooh, man.
That's why I know.
I watched that original broadcast. It's been a while.
Oh.
You were what, like 4, 5?
I was 9 when it ended.
Okay.
I didn't get many of the jokes. The competition? What's that episode about?
Don't worry about
I
it.
think you were literally 4 when that was on.
So the guy who's the model, the aspiring model, gets saved. And then the dude who has the tattoo of his ex-girlfriend's name on his pec gets booted.
It could be a mom.
Could be a
his
mom.
mom.
He has some woman's name tattooed. Donna. Donna's name tattooed on his pec.
That is
And
definitely
his-
like an old lady name, maybe.
And his girlfriend is Sophie, to be clear.
Maybe it's like his dog's name or something.
Yeah. Or his hedgehog.
Sure, yeah.
Anything.
Is this the one that had his nipples pierced?
Yes, double nipple pierce.
Okay.
They
Well,
were
there's
like
another guy who has a single nipple pierced.
they were like 3 dudes with some sort of nipple piercing. I think.
I think that it speaks to the type of person that they get for a show like this to see the extent of the tattoos and weird piercings that go on here.
There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of weird tattoos. The Red Bull tattoo?
I was just about to ask.
crazy.
Doctore,
tattoo?
Doctore, where you at?
I really want to know if that tattoo's real.
So just Doctore on his back has a giant tattoo that's the Red Bull logo.
Like the
The
full
two bulls going head to head.
the full width of his back. It's huge.
It's
Do you
huge.
think
Yeah.
Red Bull would pay?
That's
for
so.
this product
My
placement?
theory is it's like a stick-on tattoo that Red Bull is sponsoring him to put on. He's just like acting like it's a real tattoo.
I think
James.
I bet that guy would get that tattoo if Red Bull paid him to get that actual
that's
tattoo.
what I thought. That's what I think.
James, how much would Red Bull have to pay you to get a giant back tattoo of the Red Bull logo?
Like the same tattoo.
What's the
same
number?
There's
tattoo.
definitely a number, but it's a lot. I don't know.
And go on this show.
Oh man,
That's an even higher.
That's
is that higher or lower?
Which is
so I have
more
to be that
expensive?
guy on the show.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like I don't know.
I'd much rather be Doctore than one of the competitors.
With the Red Bull tattoo.
Ooh.
That's the whole thing. It's not. You're not just the dude.
Oh
Look,
man.
if you're gonna be on this show, you don't want to be Doctore. You want to be the other guy who's just like blowing his little horn and like,
Drinking.
Getting drunk.
yeah.
eating those
Oh, that-
grapes.
The horn, the best part of the show, was so good.
So explain to us the horn.
So anytime they like needed to start a challenge, the Dominus, whatever his name is,
Yeah. Sorry, I've tried and yes. go
yeah,
ahead.
he blows this like little kazoo thing. It's fucking hilarious.
That's great.
He's just like, start the challenge. It's just, like, so good.
And he does it like in this very like formal gesture thing. And it makes this little noise.
I love it.
I love the level of like seriousness, but like they know what they're doing. Kind of like, oh yeah, we know this is dumb, but we're gonna just go full on into it. I like
They
it's
they
great.
totally own it. It's great.
But
Tongue
play
in
with
cheek.
us.
Yeah, it's good that they're self-aware about it and doing that. One last thing with the elimination is they have little like banners with all the guys' faces on it.
Yeah.
And when the
Oh.
guy gets kicked off, they light his banner on
I
fire.
love that. They need to steal that shit for the challenge right now.
That's
like
so
it's so
good.
good.
Well, they've been doing that in reality shows for a long time. Like Survivor has that thing where they snuff out the
they have
candle.
the torch. Like
And then there was like I've definitely seen like the fire thing in like Hell's Kitchen. They do that or they used
where
to
they
or
light
something.
someone's photo on fire, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's not as dramatic as this one. It's not a huge banner.
Yeah. So this reminds me of like Charlie McDennis or something. It's just like you gotta create like your banner, you hand paint it, and then you just light it on fire when you lose.
Stop.
Though
on
I'm
it.
a little suspicious of the editing because they showed like Doctoro standing near it with the flame, and then there were all these cuts away, and then it cuts back to it like almost completely burnt, and I'm like, did Doctoro actually light that thing on fire, or did they like have to do a second shot later?
Seems like something didn't go quite right with the lighting of that banner.
There's definitely really windy. I would not be surprised if the other ones that got lit on fire.
The flame was giant when it started lighting. It looked like it was going to burn all the banners down.
What if your Bromans, you assume they built this giant set, then night one the set burns to the ground because your stupid elimination thing.
Oh my god.
That'd be
Fitting
great.
end for Bromans.
Then you make some Emperor Nero pun and
burns.
call it a day.
That might be the last episode.
Brome wasn't built in a day.
Brome.
What's? Oh, yeah, I guess.
I can't believe that they weren't just saying like "Welcome to Brome" like all show.
That would be great. Like your Bromans, but they never really cued that back to Brome.
They did have a lot of puns as part of the elimination challenge, though, with the "all roads lead to home,"
Oh,
and you are now ancient history.
That was really good.
That's
Like
good.
the ancient history
I,
one.
I didn't catch that one.
Were you watching the same show?
It's the most obvious one, I feel like.
You know, who knows?
Was Max watching Terrace House on his phone during the show?
There's also the potential spoiler that we keep seeing. Only 5 men get to be in the promo every time.
Yep, the title.
So
Yep.
they were definitely not going to put the dude that got eliminated first in that promo.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like all the winners. It's maybe like the beefiest looking dudes. I wasn't paying attention.
We know you weren't paying attention, Max. We got that.
Shocker.
I didn't really catch it too quickly. And I know there's just 5 of them.
Yeah. The guy in the front center of that, I mentioned this, reminds me of the aspiring drummer from The Bachelorette. Like something about the face or his hair or something. I'm like, oh, it gives me bad flashbacks. I'm waiting for him to start talking about Waboom in the middle of ancient Rome.
Oh no.
Oh man, was that guy's name?
guy.
Blaine? Blake? Blake. There it is.
So you've watched The Bachelorette as well?
I have, yes. I'm very
That's-
familiar.
That's unfortunate.
Just this season, or do you have a long
I've
history with
watched
The Bachelorette?
like 3, I think.
3's pretty
yeah.
good. What are your thoughts on BIP, Bachelor in Paradise?
Oh man. Well, I haven't seen this one. I
Oh.
decided I was out on this one.
Before we get too far off
But back to Bromans.
Bromans, is there anything we want to talk about before ratings?
What do you guys think of the music selection in this show?
All over the place.
It really was, right?
The music, like they
But-
should have gone all in on Roman sounding music, and they were all over the place with like kind of modern songs that didn't really
American
make any
classics,
sense. Yeah,
Like, I was like,
It
what's the
definitely didn't fit
It's
the
rock
tone of
and
the
roll.
show.
It was
Not
like
at
very
all.
MTV.
right?
We were
except MTV's amazing in selecting songs for shows.
Whoa! For some of their shows where they put their money into,
That challenge.
we know which show you're yeah.
So I've been watching American Vandal, and it's great. It's on Netflix. But like the one thing that makes it really good is the music selection.
Ooh.
They're just really good at setting the tone that they're trying to go for with the music. This is definitely like the opposite. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't work at all.
They just plug someone's iPod into the editing machine and hit the shuffle
Well, they're
button.
just like, we got these free songs. I might as well just play some one at random,
I got,
whatever.
I got some iTunes codes for some free songs to get.
The weird thing is like these are expensive songs to license. These aren't like
Yeah, some of
nobody's heard
them seemed like they were expensive. I don't know
Yeah.
if like the TV network just has like a license for them for
Probably.
something.
I don't know.
There's like ITV like owned by Sony or something like that. Something weird there.
So it might be. I don't know. So ratings, James, you want to start us
right
off
out
here?
of the gate. Okay, I'm gonna go straight in the middle all the way. Its show was fun, but I don't think it's gonna hold up well. I was really disappointed there was no actual fight or battle or any type of actual gladiator thing or competition. So for that, just right in the middle. It's interesting. Maybe watch another one, but I think it's gonna tail off.
So what's that James scale? Is that a 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay, right in the middle.
Dead
Max, what you got?
I'm gonna say it's in the bottom third, but it's a good bottom third. I just
So
don't want to
top-
watch more.
top
I
of
didn't
the
hate
bottom?
it. Top of the bottom.
middle. So it's a 7.
7.
yeah. It is. You know, it's fine. I wasn't that interested in the next episode. Yeah.
Rob, you want to?
I'm giving this one the middle third. Like, there's some strong elements. There's some real weak elements. But like, unlike Max, like once they put the next time on, I was like, I kind of want to see a little more. So, but I don't think it qualifies to the top third, but it's definitely better than bottom third.
I'm so conflicted. I don't know where this really fits. The
Oh.
ending really screwed that whole show, I think. And the second challenge was kind of weak.
So like 2/3 of the show.
Yeah, but all the characters are great. They're just like, I laughed every time they did something really dumb, and they don't seem like they're acting, and they're not like, doesn't seem like they're hamming it up. So like, that's what I really enjoy. So, top of the middle, I guess we'll go with. We'll go with a 4, a solid 4. Annabeth,
I'd say the bottom of the middle.
the bottom of the middle.
Yeah, I mean, there's some weird things, but like they save it a little bit with the comedy. I think kind of brings it back a little bit. The characters are good.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I'm still confused why the men get all the credit for competing. I think that knocks it down a little bit for me.
That's fair. Harrison,
This one's definitely going to be a middle third show for me. I love the host. I love Doctore. I would watch another episode of this if it was on and available, I think, to just see where it goes and see if maybe they work some of those kinks out. But yeah, I'm gonna say middle third. I didn't hate my time watching it. I'll say that.
that's fair.
High praise.
When do you think the American version of this show comes out?
Oh, next year. Immediately.
What is the next season of the challenge already announced? What the theme is?
It could be Roman. It could be Broman themed.
Just saying, they could do it.
That would be super good.
TJ is the emperor.
Right. Just Tej, and yeah, it's just gonna be great.
Tej, not Victor Cruz.
Oh, Victor Cruz.
No, never.
Who's the trainer? Do they
Maybe.
get a trainer, or do they just do the
Lolo.
challenge? It's
Maybe
just
you get-
Roman themed, and they actually do the battles for the elimination.
Oh yeah.
So they'll just do it right. Okay, I got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They're obviously going to do it right.
They know
In
what
the
to do.
musical match, probably.
So we got any updates?
Chris,
Or-
you're not going to ask if this show is better if everyone was naked?
They were naked.
there wasn't.
I
any.
know.
So I don't know if it would be any better if they were always like they were barely wearing any clothes the whole time anyway.
Yep.
So probably. Although this show they wouldn't blur anything, so it would definitely be, dating naked, but like there's no blurring, which would be, probably not great.
Chris is really going all over on this one. You were really all in a second ago.
I
there,
was.
man.
This is a lot of stream of consciousness happening right now, and not really thinking about.
That was
it
a
too much.
roller coaster of emotions
Right.
in like 30 seconds right there.
Well, what do you think?
I'm in on the naked Bromans.
Naked Bromans, you're in. Annabeth, are you in?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I liked the leather hula skirts that they got to wear. So, like, I think that added something. So I don't want to take that away.
You don't want to. It's not like they had a lot of choices in what they were wearing. So,
It's true.
James, are you in on the naked Bromans?
I think it was naked Bromans. Like, I think it
Yeah.
was naked for the enough time of the show that it needed to be naked for. They're like, okay, we get it. All right, it was funny for a bit, but like, you don't need the whole thing to do it.
They know how to use nudity for an impact in the show.
Right. It's like,
I
oh,
guess.
you had that. Okay, great. And we're moving on.
Do you think there's going to be a naked challenge every episode of Bromans?
Mm.
I'm
I
going
don't
to say, actually, in the next time on, there was something that looked like there was a
The
second
mud
naked
wrestling
challenge.
kind of thing?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. I don't think there will be a ton of clothing on the show, but I don't
They're
know that
definitely
every
not wearing
episode-
more than like 2 things.
Right.
Definitely, shirts are not allowed on this show.
No.
Right. It's togas at best.
Do you think that as a part of the application process, the guys had to send them like a full body naked photos to be like, we got to see how you're looking for
I don't
the
know if it was
show?
a naked photo,
Yeah.
but it was like a
that legal?
shorts only photo.
Definitely legal.
Right.
In the UK, UK that's legal for sure.
Maybe just the tape you could tell because there's clearly they're given like an audition tape.
Yeah.
So maybe at that point they're like, in your audition tape, make sure you're like in bathing suit attire or something, or just fully nude. I don't know.
Man, I
Just
definitely,
whatever.
I definitely want to see some of the audition tapes that these dudes came up with. They must be
Oh.
horrible.
Is that accessible
Horrible.
in any way?
Do you want to
send us
see
the
the
link.
people that made it on the show or the ones that didn't make it on the show?
Both.
Both.
That's
Yo, if
so
we have
much
some
time.
fans
Would
that
you-
could help us out with this, point us to the link for these videos.
If you had the whole show you could watch, or all of these audition tapes, which one are you more likely to watch?
Oh man. Good question. Audition tapes.
I mean, what do you try to hype up in your audition tape for this show? Like, what are you trying to?
how much of a
accentuate?
bro you are and how much you
But
love
also-
Romans. But who knows if they gave an Usher tape for just this show? It could have been like, I really like ITV's, big, reality show.
I also have a Red Bull tattoo. If that helps.
They're like, yes, we need that guy. But they must have had the
What's
the
that
girlfriends
conversation
also,
with
right?
Red Bull? Like,
Yeah.
yo, we got this guy. We may or may not use him, but we have this tattoo.
Will you pay
Will you
us?
pay us for us to pick him? Like,
No,
where's
no.
that combo?
No, Chris, this is how you do it. You go to Red Bull, and you're just like, if you pay us enough, we will get a guy, and we will get him tattooed with Red Bull logo. Little do they know you've already got that guy, and it's going to happen anyway.
And he has a permanent tattoo, Red Bull logo, instead of this temporary one.
You don't tell Red Bull that any of that, and you just
Right.
get the money from Red Bull, and it's just free money.
I'm pretty sure that Red Bull's not involved in any way in this situation at all.
So I
Definitely
googled that
not.
actor. Can't find a single Google image of his back.
Of Doctore?
Doctore.
Oh.
It's a secret.
You should ask him on Twitter.
The rest of his body is real.
We
tatted,
are
though.
definitely going to tweet at that dude. We're going to ask him about that tattoo 100%.
Yo, what's up with that tattoo? Is that
Yo,
real?
is that a Rebel tattoo on your back? Is that a gigantic Rebel tattoo on your back?
They need the
At
Doctore.
Doctore.
Doctor.
They need the Doctore email on the show so we can
Yeah.
send them the emails.
Why is
funny
everyone's
thing-
Twitter handle not on the show?
Because they didn't have Twitter in ancient Rome.
Why isn't there email on the show?
The
Yeah.
show did start with the big hashtag Bromans on the screen, though.
Yeah, it was hard to miss.
Because their jobs aren't like social media like promoters. That's
Right.
why.
They're just nobodies, yeah.
Uh,
They didn't really explain like any of these people's backgrounds. Just like,
No, they did.
don't worry about it.
They
Well,
definitely
they said their
had.
ages. That's
They-
like
Oh,
they said
right.
their ages and like a fun fact, like that one guy with his
Right.
girlfriend who was like, sometimes we get crazy and drink gin. And you're like, all right, now I know you.
Right. Okay. And
They
we're moving on.
definitely said some of them said their job. Like a couple of them
Mm.
were students. Somebody was like
One was a round Earth denier.
hashtag fake news.
Is it round Earth denier or flat Earth enthusiast? Max
Who
is
can
not
say?
prepared to handle
He's got
questions like
nothing.
that.
He's got nothing.
They also had to say when the couples were introducing themselves, like how long they've been together. And I was thinking about how amazing this would be to have like a record like of this person, like you if you break up after the show and then you're forever immortalized with this person on Bromans.
Oh, it's definitely.
I
gonna
don't know
happen.
if you're
Like-
immortalized because I don't think this show's probably getting buried.
Like, imagine if, like, every person you've ever dated, there's, like, a whole season of you two together on a reality TV show to just capture that situation.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
God.
name? Isn't that guy's name Corey? Is that?
Yeah, that's just Corey.
On that note, Harrison,
About those
did he
updates.
give us this challenge update?
Oh, man. Most of the people in this room are watching the season of the challenge at this point. But I guess we didn't get the update last week either. But
I
last
don't
week,
know when our last update was, to be honest.
last week they brought the Redemption House people back in for a second time and did it with an insane eating challenge. And it was one of the most horrific eating challenges I've ever seen. And it was, they basically line them up and they're just like, okay, here's all the stuff you're going to have to eat. Giant water rat. Like,
Just whole head.
like hard-boiled cow eye, like just like and it's like the presentation of all the things is really, really graphic and insane. Like this giant cow eye has eyelashes.
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
an insane situation.
But that's not what they actually ate. That was just the
That-
presentation. of-
Totally,
That's just to us, and that's fine.
yeah.
Did they bring Luda out for this part of the
Oh,
challenge? For
Luda
the-
should have
the
been
Fear
out.
Factor MTV, like cross synergy.
It was a really hard week to watch because right before the challenge was the episode of the Fear Factor that had people from the challenge in it, where they also had to
Oh.
eat stuff. So
You gotta have Luda on the challenge then. That's
Yeah.
just the smart thing to do.
So we had Bananas plus Leroy as one Fear Factor team, and then we had Anissa plus
Laurel?
Laurel is the other one. So Anissa got burned real bad, and the same night she had to do 2 horrible eating challenges.
They weren't the same day.
But I'm just saying, like in the same viewing, like
Oh.
For you,
Yeah.
for Anissa, those are probably months apart.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think
Gross.
was the Fear Factor first?
It
Or was
was.
it second?
Fear Factor. So they've swapped the challenge and fear factor.
No, I
around.
just meant like, did they film the Fear Factor first,
Oh.
or did they film the challenge first?
Great question. I have no
Because
idea.
one of them would help you in the second one.
I mean,
Laurel's not even on this season.
Right.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, Anissa
Yeah, who knows?
was in this challenge,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so there's insane eating challenge. Marie can't do it at all and gets berated by TJ for it. He's like, hey, I'm proud of for you. And then she just stand there. She's just like, Marie, what happened? She's like, I just knew I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to keep it down. And she's like, and he's just like, so he's just like, yeah, you should have been shoving that down your throat and throwing it up.
meanwhile, Corey during the challenge is throwing up constantly.
Corey's throwing up a ton in that challenge.
He always does that. He's cheating, basically.
That's the pro move. Like, you got to get that stuff out of your stomach. It's not looking good in there.
Also, you can't help your competition, so like it's a good competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So the
you're
sound of somebody throwing up, like that's not great.
You're not
great.
eliminated if you throw up.
No, like in all these in all these challenge things, like as long as you get the food down, as long as you're not just spitting it out of your mouth, like it's fine. Like if you throw it up,
as long as you've swallowed it,
yeah,
whether it came back up, I guess that's okay.
for sure.
Interesting.
So from there, we got Hunter and Anissa back in the house again. Hunter and Anissa back in the house, and the house is not happy that Anissa's back. They like the whole house against her. And then this week,
Can we talk about that challenge for a second?
yeah,
Didn't like that whole challenge took the whole episode again. Like, it was definitely a better challenge than the first redemption challenge, but it takes way too long.
the Redemption House episodes are a little bit slow. I
They
agree.
need- they really need to fix that.
It was nice that this was head to head, everyone at the same time, instead of just like there's going to be a million rounds of this challenge. So that was good.
Yeah, it was like, not let's wrestle. Like, that's just
Right.
boring.
Right. So that's that episode, and then last night,
Some more shit happened again.
more. Oh yeah, there's constantly shit happening, and guess what night it was? It was a club night.
Gotta be club night. That's when
Shit
all the
always
fun
goes
stuff
down.
happens.
Did
on
they go
club
to
night.
Club Coliseum?
They wish that they were able to go to Club Coliseum.
I think they just went to the same club they keep going to. It
Absolutely.
really looked like it.
It's hilarious whenever they go to the club because like they're always the only people in the clubs. Like they clearly just shut the entire club down for them.
Hey, it's
Well,
just like Club Coliseum.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be like a Wednesday night. Like,
true.
like
Yeah.
who knows?
I'm sure it must be, right? Like that's just the
You must
easiest thing
have
for them to do.
no concept of what day of the week it is when you're on the challenge. You're just chilling in this insane situation
I
all
don't
the
know,
time.
man. You're working out every day of the year. You know what's on Monday, what's on Tuesday, what's on Wednesday.
You know what
they
day leg is.
definitely know what day it is. It's like it's arm day, it's leg day, it's chest day. They know.
It's boozing day every day.
Yeah, I mean, but half the time that we don't see them, I'm sure they're just working out.
probably, or just being real boring because there's nothing to do.
Who knows?
So, our boy Nelson got into some shit. Oh no, but so we also have Tony. So we have a couple of situations.
There's a few things
We got the
happening.
Tony situation. We got the Nelson situation.
What was Tony doing in this last episode?
Tony
though?
is
that
I
was
think
the previous.
we've talked about. No, but like it keeps happening. Like it keeps like, coming up basically.
I don't really remember what Tony did.
So Tony made out in the back of the bus with Camilla after
Yeah,
one
I
of the
remember
club
that.
nights.
He hasn't
And
really done much
then-
sense though.
And then he's on the phone with his girlfriend
Oh,
in
sure.
last week's episode, and his girlfriend's like, "Hey, I've been reading on Twitter that you hooked up with Camilla. Like, what's going on? I'm freaking out. I haven't eaten for 2 days." And Tony's like, "Don't worry about it. Nothing happened." And just
Like-
straight up lied to her on the phone. It's gonna be a horrible situation when he gets back.
I like when the producer asked him, so he's like, what do you think's gonna happen when you go home? Like, you know, this is on TV.
He clearly
just
doesn't
like-
want to talk about it on TV
Yeah.
at all. But yeah, he straight up just lies to his girlfriend. And Tony's such a sad situation because like he had this big
it's all his fault, though. It's
It
like
is.
It's like
It is.
I don't feel sorry for him at all.
he had this horrible like anger and drinking problem like season 28 and previous, and then when he was back last season he wasn't drinking at all. He's on his best behavior. seemed like things were looking up for Tony, so I'm just really bummed out to see him just totally off the rails and drinking and getting and cheating on his girlfriend. It's bad.
Is that on the wagon or off the wagon?
I don't know.
Was he on the wagon last season? Now he's off the wagon?
That I think that's correct.
I think you fell off the wagon.
You're off the wagon.
Wait,
That's
wait,
exactly
you,
right.
Yeah, you stopped being sober.
Yeah, because you were on the wagon.
Being
then you
sober.
fell
The
off.
wagon is sobriety.
The
You're on
wagon is sobriety.
Sober wagon.
This is some philosophical shit here, guys.
Well, and then the beginning of this episode, like Hunter's girlfriend calls him and breaks
Oh,
up with
yeah.
him on the phone. We have no context to what's going on with that, but like,
I felt bad for Hunter. Hunter
Broke down there.
Hunter
Like,
seems like a big softie.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
he's
100%.
roided up, so he's definitely getting angry sometimes.
He's a little bit emotional.
right.
He
He
definitely
basically
has
told
those-
his girlfriend he wanted to marry her, and like while she was breaking up with him, and she's just like, "Still no, we're done." Just like,
Like, I can't take
just
you on
heart,
this
just
stupid
whoosh.
challenge show at all.
He's been dating this girl for 6 months, and now he's in the challenge. And he's talking about how he wants to spend the rest of his life with her, and it's not going well. It's
Maybe it's
done.
too
Very
soon
rough.
to be starting that talk.
yeah.
yeah.
So he's a mess. He's just a shit show.
He's a mess. His buddy Nelson's a mess.
Why was Nelson a mess at this
We have
point?
no- I have no idea.
So
So they
it
all
was-
go out clubbing and drinking, and Hunter starts running his mouth at Kayla. It was Kayla.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what about. I'm trying to recall.
It was
that.
about that she didn't do well in the challenge.
Oh, right, because he had her on her team. or
Kayla was on his
something,
team,
and she's like, "Oh, you were sucking," and
and they just have long-standing beef. And Kayla thinks that it's because in the Invasion of the Champions season, she decided to hook up with Hunter's friend Corey instead of Hunter, and Hunter theoretically liked her, kind of.
got it. So Hunter just starts running his mouth at Kayla, and she obviously been drinking, has some stuff to say back, so it's getting heated. And in the background, Johnny Bananas is just grinning. He's just loving it. He's like, "This is great. Let's see this thing happen."
He just
At
he just
which
throws
point-
fuel on every fire.
he's definitely
It's just,
stoking
he
it.
just he knows how to play that game, and
Yeah.
it's
And so is
Fan
it
in the
Nelson that
flames,
comes over
stir
and
in
kind
the
of pulls
pot.
Hunter aside and like gets him calmed down?
like it was seemingly out of nowhere. Well, yeah, so like that happened.
And that's the rest of the club. Then they go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
home and like everyone's winding down.
yeah, and like Nelson's like about to go to sleep, and then
he's got like his shirt off. He's like getting ready to go
yeah,
in bed.
and then Derek's just like standing outside, like, and I don't even understand what happened, but all of a sudden they're just like in each other's face, and like Nelson's yelling at him and pushing him and stuff, and then
I think it was Hunter and Nelson were talking about like just stuff in the house and something. And so like then Nelson was kind of getting worked up. And he's like, yeah, I'll take anyone or whatever. And so Derek overhears this and like makes like one little comment like, what does that mean or something? And then Nelson just comes at him, just guns blazing, just right in his face, pump chest.
Oh, man.
Chest to chest, face to face. And then so neither one's backing down. A little bit of shoving happens, and then ultimately,
moral of the story is Derek understands the game.
Oh,
Derek,
yeah.
Derek never puts his hands up, and they're in each other's face. He never puts his hands up. He knows Derek's there for his kids.
gets in his face,
Derek's there for his
but-
kids to get money for those kids,
Right.
and Nelson cannot handle the situation and punches Derek in the face.
oh, open hand.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's a little bit hard
palm.
to see. Like Jemmy almost makes a play and like deflects the punch. Like she tries to dive like into the punch to like deal with it, but couldn't quite get there. So
I'm not really sure what Jimmy was doing in that situation. She came out of nowhere.
she was standing around
Just-
like behind the camera.
Yeah,
It
just
seemed like, and just
eavesdropping.
ran in there to try to bust it up, like
I
as he was throwing
definitely
that punch.
didn't get any of what you said that happened. I just like somehow Nelson just started yelling at Derek and then punched him, and then he was like, there was no context I felt for like why that happened.
Yeah, no.
Basically, it was just like Derek like
I
made
see
like
what you
one little
got.
thing.
I see what you
that
said,
was
but
it.
I didn't get that from the show.
I think
Uh,
that people are just in this situation
Right.
where like their nerves are fried and like
Yeah.
they just get angry at the drop of hat.
Maybe
drop
they
of a
shouldn't be
hat,
going
like-
out getting fucking hammered
right, totally. I mean, that's all.
when
it
you're
is,
not in a
right?
That's
good
part
mental
of the game,
state.
though.
But it's free,
You got to be
Chris.
able to take
It's
it.
free.
It's just you got to be able to great mental state for this game. You can't be just hungover the next day and like making bad decisions when you're hammered.
Yeah. So Derek knows how to play the game. He takes the punch to the face like a champ, and TJ comes in the next day to announce that Nelson will not be eligible for elimination because he's not coming back.
done.
Bum, bum.
He done.
And they still don't know they're playing for $1 million.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dirtiest secret of them all.
I can't wait. I can't wait until he drops that. I really hope that he reveals that in a moment that's actually impactful, because like all these people are already very motivated to be there and willing to do literally whatever they tell them to do. So like that $1 million is going to have to come at a pivotal point when they're asking him to do something super crazy to like get him over the hump.
Or it just fucks over a lot of other people in the house.
I think it
Yeah.
would be great if they say like, person A and person B, you're off the show. But before you go, something you should know. You're actually playing for $1 million.
Or you were playing
You
for
were
$1 million.
playing,
Yeah.
right.
But you'd have to have a chance for some kind of dirty move. To
Yeah.
make it the dirtiest season, there needs to be something that can happen.
I just like the idea that Tej announces the $1 million, and oh, by the way, he's in the competition now. And then Victor Cruz comes out to handle the hosting duties from that point because Tej is in.
Oh,
I
the
feel
ratings
like-
will slump. You can't have Victor Cruz. You got to get somebody else.
No, you got Tej now.
Get
as a
like Dave
contestant.
Mirra or something. Get him back.
You know, Dave Mirra is definitely dead. That's rough,
Tej
dude.
saw,
Sorry.
Tej saw Canada's Worst Driver. He's like, the host is doing these challenges. I got to get in on this.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's definitely not happening.
Man, did
So,
they
yeah.
did they announce who got voted in, or is that the cliffhanger?
That's the
cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah, because they announced that Nelson wasn't coming back, so they were in the middle of about to do the votes, and then
So
ended the episode.
how many episodes is this going to be? The longest challenge season ever?
The longest and dirtiest.
Here's the thing: what does it matter? Just keep things rolling. There's gonna
I mean,
keep being
there
There are
redemption houses.
so many people on the show still, and they keep
It's
bringing
like
them
12
back.
episodes in. This is like going to be like the 13th episode or something.
It's got to be 30 episodes, doesn't it?
Oh,
Has to be.
Probably. The way they're going, it has to be.
Do you think there's going to be a third Redemption House?
Yeah.
What if they
There's gotta
start
be.
bipping it and there's just more people just randomly come in at some point? Be like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, there's just more people in the show now, and it just never ends. Like, Benaz's been there for 4 years.
Oh my God.
He's like, I'm getting that $1 million.
I'm going to win.
Oh, is that the dirtiest secret? It's just a never-ending show. So to get the $1 million, you just have to survive like a decade.
That would be insane if they didn't tell him that, and it's just whoever is the last to quit just gets that money.
It's the Boyhood of reality
20
shows.
years later. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it's like
man.
you win $1 million by being in enough episodes that we pay you $1 million.
Yeah, it's just that like you just get to live for free for the next decade when you're on this reality show.
You get free room and board in this giant dorm. You never get a room to yourself.
There was no way Hunter's girlfriend was ever going to wait 10 years for him to come back.
Definitely a lot of relationships ruined. Not going to see your son anymore.
Nope.
It's rough.
Sounds like Utopia.
I think that was that supposed to be a year? Or like, was there an end to that?
Unclear.
I don't remember.
I think it
Well,
was
there
just
clearly
a social
was an
experiment
end.
where they'll see what happens and how long they can go. And
Yeah.
that was the end of that show.
Bad. We have a bad track record on that. Like Utopia ended early. That You the Jury ended early.
It's just what happens when you're early adopters of all these reality shows.
When you're on the cutting edge of you view the jury, you know, it happens.
2 episodes of You the Jury.
We're not looking for good shows. We're looking for shows that will be canceled soon.
We almost could have been a comprehensive You the Jury podcast. We just have to do one more episode, and we got it locked.
You want to watch one more episode of You the Jury?
Not
should
at
we
all.
do a retrospective? Like, should we go back and watch episode 1 again so we can reflect on the past year it's been since the episodes?
Man, the world's really changed since that first episode of You the Jury.
Yeah.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Anyone else got anything they want to talk about? Plugs?
I'll give a quick BIP update.
Oh,
So,
you're still bipping?
I'm not bipping. I'm.
BIP ended though like months ago, I thought.
It ended 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So
Years
last
Month, years,
So
decades.
the last episode, I think I might have been a little confusing the way I said it was. So the end of the second last episode, Chris Hedges comes in and just tells them, "Hey, it's the last day. You're all leaving tomorrow." And then that was the cliffhangers. There was one more episode to go.
Oh.
And then the episode, and I didn't see it. I just got told secondhand that basically all the couples, because they're all coupled up at this point, get to choose, do they leave as a couple and then they get to go to the fantasy suites, or they can just leave individually.
I didn't realize there were fantasy suites in play here.
Apparently there are at the very end.
Do they do proposals?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So and then they have the live show thing where like they bring the people out to talk to Chris Harrison with the crowd and stuff. So there's the thing, like they were all coupled up. That's why they had to end the show, because like there was new people were coming in and just getting booted because no one wanted to go on dates with them. And then apparently everyone was like, all the couples, one of them would be like, so we're leaving as a couple, right? And that one's like, nah.
So no one left as a couple?
I think 2 left as a couple and 1 proposed.
Oh.
So next season there can be another BIP wedding.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Do you think that the BIP is gonna like the producers convince them to get married, or is it just like, you know, something that may or may not actually happen? Like,
Well, you guys saw the wedding in the first couple episodes, right?
remind me.
So I think it's like this is like the perpetual motion machine. Next season on BIP,
Yeah,
they'll have
but
another wedding.
out
you
of
know.
6, well, how many couples were there? 6 couples or something?
I think it was like 8.
8 couples overall, 16 people. Like 2 of them left as a couple, and 1 may or may not like get married. So like, I feel like you want a better track record if you're going to try to do that every season.
Yeah,
So, who's staying together and who's getting married?
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
He didn't watch the
But-
episode.
The 2 people that I was asked about was Dean got ditched and did not leave as a couple, and our boy Diggy did not leave as a couple.
Oh no.
What about,
Diggy.
what about Waboom?
I don't think Waboom was in BIP, although aspiring drummer was and just talked about Waboom the whole time
Oh
and
my
then got
God.
booted.
That's
about-
amazing.
What about Adam
That's his
Jr.?
fatal flaw.
Adam Jr. was there for a long time.
Was he?
He
Did
mo-
he get a rose?
Oh, actually, I don't know if Adam Jr. was there. Adam Sr. was there.
Okay.
How do
I
you
don't know
know
if
who
he's
these
one-
people are?
From
I
Bachelorette.
understand we watched it.
From watching
I don't
so much
remember
Bachelorette.
anyone.
I
Do you-
watched a decent amount of The Bachelorette.
Adam Jr. was the doll.
That's what I know. You got to say the doll guy. I know the doll.
Yeah, doll guy,
Yeah.
who my wife says kind of reminds her of James.
Oh, some shade there.
James Jr., James the Fourth.
We need to get JPR4 the doll.
Yeah.
To be clear, it was only from a physical/look standpoint, not that I was actually like the dude.
So you were told
Just
about,
to clarify.
Or the French doll.
I was told that I look similar.
you should get that cool
to
doll.
clarify.
But like,
Man.
like
What if you had to either choose the Red Bull tattoo or you had to walk around that doll every day for the rest of your life?
The doll
great
is a cool
question.
doll. Obviously, you got to pick the doll. Like,
You're going
how's that a
doll?
problem? Yeah.
Man, you got to take that thing to work, like everywhere you go. Dinner,
That's
restaurants,
It's
dates,
got to be a Red Bull
everything.
tattoo. You can
It's got to be a Red Bull.
you can at least wear a shirt.
Right.
You can wear a shirt. You don't have to wear no shirt all the time.
You can wear a shirt over the doll.
Yeah. What if the Red Bull tattoo's got to be on your forehead?
That might be
No,
a different
it-
conversation then.
That's a different question. The question is the Red Bull
Obviously,
tattoo
you pick
on
the
the
doll
back.
because the doll is actually cool. That Red Bull tattoo is fucking terrible.
I love how you keep on referring to the doll as cool.
it's neat. It's neat.
so I guess instead of James Jr., maybe we need TCL Jr.
Oh.
Oh shit!
It's like a doll Bitmoji.
Can we get a TCL doll?
Can,
TCL
can I
Jr.?
get a?
Is that a thing?
Can I get a doll on my Bitmoji? Maybe I do that.
Oh
Maybe.
my god! I
Goodness
can't believe you wouldn't take
idea.
that. Rob, what would you do?
Bitmoji accessories.
I'd rather just get the doll.
Really? 2 dolls?
Definitely
Shocking.
that tattoo.
I don't.
I really don't want to get a tattoo,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I would definitely get the tattoo. It's just like that
I couldn't
doll.
imagine going to work with
the
that
doll
thing.
just seems like it would be like
Just
it
put
is.
it in your backpack.
It is
No, it's got
you have to
it's
carry
with you. It's out at the table. It's in the meetings
You
with
have
you.
to carry it everywhere,
Right.
And you're constantly explaining for the rest of your life why you're carrying that doll around.
Oh, that I didn't think it through properly.
Imagine
you know,
you're going on
Yeah.
a plane. You have to buy another
Right.
seat.
Oh no.
No,
Yeah.
just sit on my lap. He's a 2-year-old.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're still
Infant
taking that
ticket.
thing through the airport with you, like not in
Yeah,
the
just
sit in my
suitcase.
backpack.
Yeah, like
He gets-
everywhere you go,
he
you're
gets
taking
his
that thing.
head stuck out of the backpack.
They're definitely gonna think that thing's filled with drugs when you try to take it to the airport.
Could you imagine trying to explain that through like a TSA agent? Like,
Nope.
It's like, no, It's just my companion.
No, it's my ventriloquist
You're definitely
dummy.
getting pulled
And
into.
Chris is just like, yeah, I don't know, he's just cool.
Emotional
This
support
is
doll.
cool.
You're
so
definitely
cool.
getting pulled into an extra screening from that.
Do you think that Adam Jr. needs to get a cavity search when when they go through the airport?
Oh man, it might be. But like, I guess it's a slight change in subject, but like, I cannot believe how many of the people we thought were crazy were just on BIP. Like,
Yeah.
Doll Guy, Penguin Guy, Tickle Monster, they're all there.
Insane.
Not Waboom though.
Not Waboom.
I also can't believe that Dean got his heart broken 2 seasons in a row. That's pretty rough.
Dean,
Sweet Dean.
did it to himself. Like,
Oh, really? It wasn't looking good?
He's not Sweet Dean anymore.
What'd
Dean
he
has lost
do?
a lot of fans.
Oh,
You've got to
no.
listen to all the back
Oh,
podcasts.
okay.
It's been on all the
Sorry.
updates.
Okay.
So, Harrison, are you gonna watch The Bachelor when it starts?
Ooh. Who's the next Bachelor? It's like some random dude, though, isn't it?
It's a guy from the deep past of The Bachelor. I think his name is Airy.
I don't under-
Don't look it up.
I don't understand how it wasn't Peter.
It was supposed to be Peter, and then it wasn't.
Did Peter not want to do it?
So, do you know the conspiracy theory?
I don't.
Conspiracy theory is they asked Peter, and they're like, but you got to propose. None of this, I'm interested in exploring the relationship. And Peter's like, nah, I do what I want.
Yeah?
And so they're like, no, like, well, you'll be the bachelor. This is great. But you got to propose. And Peter's like, I'm the bachelor. I'm not committing. And so then they walked away from Peter.
That makes sense. I feel like you have to be willing to propose if you're going to be in that. I mean, the entire premise of the show is that, so.
Is absurd. Yes.
Yeah, well, the entire premise of the show is absurd, but it is specific also.
Well, I think one thing that maybe tanked Peter's chances of being the Bachelor is like how Rachel kind of dragged him at the end, like about like because she literally said like on the last episode like you're not cut out for this show, and I feel like the way she talked about him like definitely hurt his chances of being picked.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna watch the next episode, next series of
Me?
The Bachelor? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know this guy. I've only seen like 3 seasons of The Bachelor.
But you'll get
and he
to know.
wasn't.
You'll get to know
I
him.
know.
And-
I know. But this season, I don't know. The way this season ended was kind of like a bummer. So like, I don't know if I want to.
You're
get
not
back
ready
in
for
there.
that roller
Not
coaster
sure.
ride.
Rachel kind of sucked.
I know.
Oh,
I don't
hot
know.
take.
Man.
I mean, she was fine, but she was boring.
She was good for about like 80% of the show, and then like in the last 20, it seemed like she lost her mind a little bit. Like, and I'm not really sure what happened, but like she started
was on the
acting
show.
She started acting just very strange about the whole situation, especially with Peter and things like I don't know. It got really weird at the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
What about Bachelor Winter Olympics?
Is that coming up?
That's coming up to counter-program the Winter Olympics in February.
It's too good.
Bold-
What does
bold
that
move.
mean?
I don't remember, but in February, I'm sure we're going to be doing a podcast about it. So you'll know
Why?
all about
Don't
it.
make me do things.
We have
like
to,
that.
dude. It sounds like it's the challenge crossed with Bachelorette, right?
I think you
What if
mean
it's crossed
Shredders.
with Bromans?
Oh,
And there's a theme.
what if one of the Bromans was the next Bachelor? Would you watch then?
Oh.
Absolutely.
I don't. No.
with the Red Bull tattoo. Red Bull
Yeah.
sponsors
God.
next season of The
Doctore?
Bachelor.
Absolutely.
If Doctore was the Bachelor, that'd be unbelievable.
He's delicious.
in the same personality too.
And then one of the women.
Same costume too.
100%.
Wait,
The
is it
leather
like
sleeves.
a Broman like theme? Like it's like the Roman theme.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
It's
Oh, man.
hashtag Bromans.
But one of the
This is the U.S. Bromans. They
You
just
really
take
had to
Bromans.
think about that.
They just take
Bromans.
it. Well, there's no like hashtag Bachelor Mins. That doesn't work.
Hashtag Bachelor Nation.
Go
That's what
into
they
that
already
more,
have.
Chris.
No.
Roman Nation.
I want to see the host get this thing back on the rails.
Chris,
There's
what
no-
about
there's no
Brochler?
rails.
What about Brochler?
Brochler.
No.
What if on Doctoria is the Bachelor and one of the women broke up with her Broman and it's one of the women from Bromans is now trying to get Doctoria?
Oh, I think that could work out well. That's just a one-on-one dating show. Just
Does Doctore win Bromans if he breaks up all the couples?
Oh,
Oh, new twist.
that would be great if the host had some kind of stakes in the game. Like,
Oh man.
The show just keeps going on until the host wins,
Oh yeah,
and then the next season we'll see if you can beat the previous host's record.
I do like some kind of beat the host sort of reality show.
Is
I'm
that
su- I'm
what's
sure we
happening with
can-
30-30?
We hope.
Going on
maybe.
forever
Yeah.
until TJ wins.
I mean, as soon as TJ rolls back in when that Mills announced,
Wasn't that also Shaq versus?
Shaq versus. Oh yeah, I don't know if Shaq was the host of that show, but that was a hell of a show.
Who else was the hell? Like nobody
They-
else.
I feel like this
They
sounds
had
like
those sports commentators in that show, like weirdly.
I feel like
They
this
did.
concept sounds like Win Ben Stein's Money, but that's not a reality show.
That was a great show,
It
though.
was a great show.
All right, anyone got anything else they want to talk about?
Can I talk about one of my middle school textbooks?
No,
Hit
Definitely
me.
not.
You're gonna like it.
Oh, he
What you got?
guarantees it.
I doubt
Uh,
it.
So it's called Cambridge Latin Course 1. It's a Latin book. So you start off with, Cecilius is in the garden, and the book ends where Cecilius and his entire family and his servants are crushed by a wall by Vesuvius. Everybody you know in this book dies.
Oh man,
It's
This is
insane.
amazing. Wait, was this just like on your mind, or did this come up because of Bromans?
Because of Bromans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were just like reviewing the book this week.
Yeah.
He was trying to freshen up on his Latin.
Gotta get ready for Bromans.
That is a pretty
Pregame.
good plot twist to have in a textbook.
It was great.
It's nuts.
That's awesome. Do you still know everything you learned in that book?
Hell no.
Whoa. But you know where it started and stopped.
Yeah.
That's
That's all you
That
need to know.
story
That's
haunts
something.
you.
Like
It sounds
you know.
like it was in English.
Anyway, course 2, turns out his son survived. And now he's the main
dun
character.
dun dun.
Is he the one
Sequel?
that teaches you Latin then?
Sorta. I mean, you learn Latin
I don't
in
really
the
understand
first
this. A
one.
textbook. It just kind of sounds like a book.
Well, no. So, it starts off with simple sentences like, Cecilius is in the garden. Cecilius
Can you say
is
that
sit-
in Latin?
But like in Latin.
Caecilius in horto est.
Okay.
Caecilius in horto sedet, which are the actual beginning of the book because it's on Wikipedia, which
Man.
means he's in the garden, he's sitting.
Man, you really know your dead languages.
Yeah, I gotta.
Think your enunciation was a little off?
No,
Spot on.
No, not at
Spot
all.
on.
You should audition for this show.
great.
That's your tape.
That'd be
Only
good.
if there's a modeling challenge.
Ooh. Max Model. Is that your modeling name?
Sure.
Max is like ready to agree to anything. I think right now I'm trying to think of something that's like a little more.
Would you go on the show? Hell no.
Oh man, yeah. So I finished the 3% recently. Recommend that show. It's really interesting.
What is the 3%?
It's that new not documentary. It's a
It's
new Netflix
documentary.
show.
It's definitely a documentary.
That is, I think, filmed in Brazil, or it's
Yeah.
like filmed by like a Brazilian director, all in Spanish. And
Subtitles?
No subtitles, but it's dubbed in English.
Oh, it's dubbed.
So you have to get over the lip sync not being great, but the show is actually it's like a really interesting concept from like a sci-fi kind of perspective. So it was enjoyable.
Will you give the concept so people will?
Essentially, it's so there's a society. There's two sides of the society. There's the 3%, which is the top 3%, who goes and lives in like this great oasis and has everything they need. The other 97% lives in basically poverty and is struggling. And so the whole idea is that everyone is born in this like 97%, and like every so often or however, whatever the regular pattern is, they take all of the kids when I think it's like 21st or 22nd birthday. You go like basically through this. Oh, the process is what it's called.
Gotta trust the
Where
process.
you like whittle down to the
I
3%.
think
Only
so.
the 3% come, and everybody else comes back to poverty, but the 3% go on.
Some sort of married at first sight process.
Married by mom and dad process.
It's a very
No.
there's a process runner. That's like a pretty pivotal part of the show. You learn some stuff about that dude. Anyways, I don't know. It was interesting.
Cool.
And I've moved on to American Vandal.
Ooh, nice.
So good.
Yeah, a lot of dicks in that show.
Yeah.
Not like the dicks in this show.
Different kind of dicks, but a lot of dick drawings.
What, like alien dicks or?
No, just a lot of dick drawings.
horse dicks.
High school dick drawings.
Me
Just all
and
over the
Rob
place.
just watched the first episode of this right before this podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Nice, nice.
I feel like it's like, be cautious here, but it's sort of like serial-esque. But like the
It's
host is like a high school
satire
kid.
of the like.
Yeah.
It's a satire of that.
Of the,
Right.
like the making a murderer sort of
There's
genre.
definitely some serious making a murderer vibes going on.
They
Gotcha.
use
Right.
the same music from Making a Murderer. So
Amazing.
And there's definitely like style things they're doing that are very evocative of making a murderer.
But it is genius. I'll tell you that.
Netflix has a ton of great original shows right now. This isn't like a Netflix commercial, but
No, it really
Uh,
it's good. Yeah,
I'm
Chris's word
watching-
on this one. It's been good.
I'm watching Ozark right now, which is that
Oh, me too.
Jason Bateman show. It's so good.
What episode are you at?
I think I'm at episode 4 or 5. It's really good.
Nice. I think that's next on my list after this one.
I agree.
And then The Good Place just started up.
Oh, Good Place
Season
season
two.
2 is really good.
Big time.
Start
No
off
spoilers.
strong.
we,
First
shouldn't, we
episode.
shouldn't really talk about it, but like it's really good.
Strong thumbs up on the first
Everyone
episode.
should watch the first season 100%.
Yeah, don't
You have to
jump
watch
right
it.
into episode 2.
You have to watch the
Season
first
2 also spoilers because I'm not
No
spoiling.
spoilers.
No, I'm just saying like don't watch season 2 because like within the beginning it like spoils all of season 1.
Right,
So
yeah.
like
Yeah.
go and watch season 1
For
first.
sure. You should have to watch season
Show's
1
too
first.
good not to like skip it.
You're probably going to watch season 1 more than once.
So
I watched it like 2 or 3 times.
yeah, so Brian, who's been on this podcast, I keep having this conversation with him. He keeps going, "No, it's fine. I'll just watch season 2." I'm like, Brian, the season 1, it's too good. I'm not letting you do it. You have to watch it.
It's a prerequisite.
It's prerequisite.
It's on Hulu, just like
I know, but he's just like, oh, it's too much time. I'll just whatever. I'll understand what happened. I'm like, yeah, but it's too good to miss.
It's
Like
only-
you need to go watch
It's only
it.
like 10, 30-minute episodes. It's not like it's crazy.
yeah.
Is this the show with Veronica Mars?
Yeah, Kristen Bell, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
So yeah, been enjoying that. A lot of good TV right now, but for some reason we keep watching these reality shows.
Someone's
who
got it.
put this on?
Right? Damn it.
On
Anybody
that
else?
note,
Well, wait. Can I give a pitch?
Yeah.
Are You the One? The latest season started last week.
Ooh.
You guys haven't done it?
No.
that's correct. We have
Oh,
not.
you got to get in there. It is my favorite reality show. It is
Oh.
incredible.
Favorite.
Oh.
So
We
top
were
of the-
gonna-
top of the
It's
tier.
very good.
That's a strong endorsement.
We thought about when Harrison almost didn't or did not make it. We were thinking about that show. We were
I
like,
would have been bummed if I missed the Are You the One episode.
We can't
we-
do
we-
any.
we all-
A plus.
we also said that we can't do that without Harrison because it's on MTV.
We have watched
you
a show
can't do
called.
MTV without Harrison.
It's a challenge feeder.
We have, however, watched a show called If You Are the One. Completely different.
Okay.
Oh. Did anybody watch?
confuse.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so
You're
at
good.
the end of the last challenge, they started rolling to the '90s house. Anybody make it through that?
Well, so we were watching the challenge last night, and they, at the end of every challenge segment, they had a commercial for 90s House leading up to the premiere of 90s House after, and that looks like a horrible show. It looks so bad. It looks so bad.
The people just looked like the idea is kind of interesting,
But
No,
what
but
is
the
the
people look
idea?
terrible. So it's basically take
It's
a big
the
group
same
of people,
idea as every other reality show. You put them in a house.
Right.
You take away their cell phones.
But it's
And then
themed
But they
can only
all
listen to
90s. So
90s
all of the
music.
clothing is from the 90s. There's like an old like iMac like with the like turquoise shell that like only connects to AOL with like a dial-up. It's like all just kinds
it's,
of great.
It's amazing
like
because
the idea.
It's
of the
amazing
theme.
because you could just literally just go back and watch a season of The Real World from the 90s, and it's the same show probably, right?
Right.
Like
No, it's probably not.
theoretically, well, like they're definitely hamming it up with all the 90s stuff in this one. It seems like, but
Right.
I don't
that's the
know.
real 90s, you know.
But the problem,
The,
like
the
the people
gimmick
just look
means
terrible.
nothing because each like the Big Brother like they don't have cell phones. There's like what's like they're living like it's like 1902. Like they're just
It's
living in a
mostly
house.
it's mostly the 90s clothes, I think, like the really over the top 90s clothes.
I'm sure there will be some like competitions and things that are 90s themed, but
I don't know if we have to do this one for the pod, do we?
No.
It
No.
looks so bad, dude.
Really
not.
bad.
It looks really bad.
Could we go back to they're living like it's 1902?
No,
Is there a lot of polio going on in that?
oh, it's just like when you're 20 years old and it's 1902.
were you going to the
You're just
club
like,
in
is-
1902? I don't know. What were the
Is
clubs
there
like
clubs
in
in the
1902?
90s house?
No, I was talking about like the challenge. Like you said,
I
all
was
these
talking
other
about the
shows are
19
like.
But I was talking about the 90s house.
Oh, I thought you were saying like every reality show is like you're living in
No,
1902.
I was talking about like just these people living in a house doing
It
nothing.
would be amazing if they had a club night on the 90s house though, and they just ran a club out and decked it out all 90s.
It's called the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh,
Doesn't this just happen?
All right, guys, we're done with this. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. You can find us on Twitter @WhoPutThisOn. You can email us questions and suggestions at WhoPutThisOn@gmail.com. See you guys next time.